I am Jillian.
And I'm Aston.
NuSpecies' mission is to help our clients live better and longer. NuSpecies invents and manufactures our own line of high-potency herbal formulas that support your body to be resilient against the toughest of health challenges. We're all on our own health journey, and good health choices mean something different for each of us. And that's why we host this Q&A every Saturday at 10 a.m. so that you can get answers to your questions to help you on your unique journey.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for being with us today.
And we want to hear from your relatives as well. Now, you're all missionaries now, missionaries of health. So you have family members who need help. And even if they don't need help, please chat them now to join and just listen in. They may learn some things. And you all know that you have family members who are secretive. They could be going through issues and are telling you. So wherever they are in the world, let them join. Tell them to join now and just listen in. And who knows, they may have questions. The knowledge or the education that we give is to help you to live better and live longer without us. Make you independent, self-reliant. That's why we're giving you all this knowledge. Because you think we want to be here all the time? We love you, yes, but we want you to take care of yourself to the point where you don't need us. Okay? All right.
All right. If you are telling your friends and family about NuSpecies, there are three main ways I think you could help them get on board. One is joining this Q&A, as Aston just said, because we will answer all their skeptical questions and all their tough questions. That doesn't offend us. It does not bother us. And we're here to help them find the best product for them. And if that's NuSpecies, then we want to do whatever it takes to help them understand the value of what we provide. Additionally, you can send them over to any of our stores in Belmont, Bronxville, or up in Pawling, and we can do a free sample. So they could get, we'll just like pour them a little taste and they can smell it, see it, taste it, and get a sense of what our products are like. We just have a small selection of formulas that we do with that. And then we also have a daily dose menu, which includes 4 or 5 cocktails that we've come up with that are good for everyday use. And the most one of them costs is about $5, and they can get a little combination of like a full dose of the formula. And they could do that for a few days or a few weeks until they feel like they're ready to commit to the product.
I like that. Cocktails.
Yes.
James Bond.
Yes, our little.
Without vodka.
And NuSpecies is shaken, not stirred. So we're so funny. Just all right. So we've got some pre-submitted questions, and we do have one of the pre-submitted questions, Lady G. She's here in the chat with us today. Good morning, Lady G. Good morning, June. Hi. Please say good morning to us, even if you're not going to ask a question. We'd love to hear from you. All right. So Lady G, we'll get to your first question, and then I do see you have a follow-up. All right. So Lady G's question is, my doctor said I suffer, and by the way, I'm very impressed with this question, Lady G. It's like complete NuSpecian thinking. It's set up perfectly. So it's a great example of how we want everyone to be thinking.
Okay, now, don't intimidate people now to ask questions. Okay, Lady G, you got to tone it down, girl.
Okay. All right. So my doctor said I suffer with anemia, even though I don't have heavy periods. He said it seems like my body has gotten used to being anemic. He has recommended iron tablets. However, I don't want to be taking pills to hide the issue without a permanent fix. So there's the root cause point that we love. Mm-hmm. And then the question, is it possible to cure anemia? I'm familiar with your products, but I would like to know how long I will have to do or to be on whatever you recommend. I'm willing to go the distance if it will significantly help me. And that's a great addition to your question, because you add in like a budget concern, which sometimes people will turn down getting started with NuSpecies and not actually just claim it's a budget issue, and then they don't get started and we lose time to help them. So great layers of thinking in this question.
Okay, so help me navigate
break it down.
The layers.
Okay, the first thing I'm curious about is, can your body get used to being anemic? What does that mean?
Oh yeah, our bodies can become, usually when someone is anemic, they would have low energy, and they could, they could get dizziness. They could have just feel exhausted all the time, and our bodies can adapt to anything. And that's the beauty of our genes. Our bodies can adapt to anything. So people can get accustomed to being tired. This is how they get accustomed to pain. They're feeling the pain is there, they know it's there, but somehow, our minds create the hormones to numb us thinking about the pain. So, and that's how our body can cure itself. It's a form of cure if you think about it. That you're sick and it's there and it's there, but you can still function because the body finds a way to make the pain or the discomfort not as powerful as it was in the beginning of the condition. So anemia, for all of you, I'm always talking to all of you when I respond to these questions. So anemia is a very serious condition, and those of you who have your lab reports, you should pull it out and check your hemoglobin. Your hemoglobin in the CBC section of your blood report, that's the red blood cell that primarily make people anemic when it's low. When it falls below, 11 or 12, depending on the lab company, they have different ranges. But usually 11 or 12, once it's fall below any of those numbers, the body is losing hemoglobin. Hemoglobin carries iron. And then iron attaches to oxygen atoms or molecules. And that's why you have low iron, thus low oxygen, thus you're anemic. You don't have enough iron because you don't have enough hemoglobin. So three or four of the primary cause of anemia. One, ladies who have irregular menstrual and sometimes it's too heavy. And two, it could be a colon issue where the person has a colon or intestinal issue, they're losing blood. And it could be a kidney issue where people lose, there's damage to the kidney, even if it's early stage, and the kidneys are leaking blood. And then it could be a bone marrow issue. It could be a bone marrow disease that causes anemia, meaning that the bone marrow is not making enough red blood cells because there's a condition. So you need to get a diagnosis. You should send us your lab report so we could see the cause. If we don't know the root cause, we won't be able to help you. We have to know what the cause is. Otherwise, we're going to recommend 4 different categories of formulas to cover all of what I just said. So you would save money if you just send us your lab so we can help to determine what could be causing it. Because when doctors, and it's not their fault, believe it or not, it may sound like I'm not being honest about it, but I am. If a doctor doesn't have a medication to cure your condition, they pretty much ignore it. Because what's the point discussing it with you when there's nothing they can do about it? And as doctors would tell me, okay, so if I have a client and they have anemia and I can't help them, because the taking iron supplements may not help. You take the iron supplements, right, folks? You take the pill, you take the liquid, you do the infusion. Well, guess what's going to happen? 2 weeks later, less than a month later, you will be anemic again because you don't have enough hemoglobin for the iron to attach to.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So that's the key. It's the low hemoglobin. Why you're losing blood? Why are you losing the hemoglobin? Why your body's not making it? So we need to see your lab report so we can help to determine if, unless if you have kidney issues, you say you don't have menstrual issues. If you have kidney issues, colon issues, intestinal issues, or bone marrow issues, if you don't know, then you probably should get checked. But you need to find the root cause. But yes, we can help you to rebuild your bone marrow, to fix the issue. If it's a bone marrow issue, we can help you to fix your kidneys or your colon or your intestine if it's caused from that, or menstrual. But we need to know which one so we can save you lots of money in not recommending 4 different packages just to cover the whole universe of what could be causing the anemic condition.
Is there a general time frame you've seen it usually takes for? It could be significantly different for each of those causes, or maybe it's similar. How long could she expect to be on whatever's recommended?
3 to 6 months. Some people usually get better faster, but everybody's different. Everybody's genes, are just different. Some people just have better genes. It's just the reality of our existence that some people have better genes.
And what is the, um, you know, if the root cause is lifestyle related or something that you need to continue to do in your lifestyle, it could come again, right? So then they would need to. It all depends on like what the root cause is, and like is it something that you can control with your choices?
Probably not anemia,
No.
because think about it. Either the body is losing blood
Mm-hmm.
or it's not making enough blood. So there's an underlying condition causing that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not diet. I know a lot of the doctors will say you should do green foods, do spinach, and you should do those. You should do those.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have an underlying condition, it needs to be fixed, because this is how serious anemia is. A lot of people who have anemia for extended period of time, they get cancer. People tell me why those people get cancer. They get cancer because the primary food for all life forms, humans and non-humans, the primary food is oxygen. The absence of adequate oxygen is the number one cause of all cancers and all diseases. All cancers, all diseases. The adequacy of oxygen in our bodies. So a lot of ladies who get endometrial cancer, they get uterine cancer, breast cancer, thyroid cancer, ovarian cancer. They had mass, or they had lumps or nodules which had very little oxygen, very little blood circulation, that went on for extended period of time, and those tissues inevitably become cancerous because of the inadequacy of oxygen. So if you have inadequate blood circulation to any cell or tissue, the cell will break down. Just like just a plant, if it doesn't get adequate oxygen or food, it's going to die. So the tissues die, the organs die.
So then in this case, it would be that the body is not repairing the problem for some reason.
Right.
And by using the NuSpecies formulas you'd recommend is supporting the body to try to make this repair that it hasn't been able to do.
Right. Once we know what's causing it, we can help you target that specific area. We're going to help you rebuild your body in general, and we're going to help to purify your body in general, but we're also going to target this specific area that's causing that, where the root cause seems to be.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then so Lady G, I guess going the distance for you will depend on what the budget ends up being for the specific package. And so if you can send over your labs, that would be great. The number, we'll put it in the chat for our fax number. You can also email it though, that to our support@newspecies.com. That is a secure place to send your labs as well, if you prefer to email.
Mm-hmm.
A follow-up question from Audrey. She has two, but she says just the basic labs. So she's asking what labs would actually show you what you need to see in this situation.
CBCs and the chemistry panel or the metabolic panel.
Okay, and these are usually the pretty standard labs, so you likely have them if you've had a recent physical.
Right.
Okay, and then Audrey asks, what if your lab shows like you're a little low, but you're not actually diagnosed as anemic?
So that's a great question, and I've said it, numerous times that, and I've said it this morning too, right here in this program since we got started, that everybody is different. Some people, their hemoglobin could be 10 or even 11, and you're anemic, and it's affecting the body. And some people, their hemoglobin could be 9 or 10, and it doesn't affect them as much because our bodies are able to adapt very, very, very well. Everybody's different. Everybody's genes have, differences. We're 99.9% all human beings on the planet are the same, but that minor difference can make, a huge difference.
Are there temporary reasons you could be a little anemic and then it will resolve itself? Or if it shows a little bit anemic, it's a sign that it's headed for the worse if you don't do something?
Right. So our body's tendency is to normalize itself, harmonize itself. That's how we were made genetically and DNA wise. Our body's tendency is to harmonize, to have a balance. That's the physics of our bodies. So if you have a condition that the body's not fixing, not harmonizing, not balancing, not getting rid of, it means the body's not strong enough. The genes are not strong enough, or the genes are damaged in that particular area, and that's why the body just can't do it. So the body needs something to fix itself. The body needs something to support itself.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's a condition that the body's not getting rid of, is because the body's not getting what it needs. Our bodies are the ultimate, chemical lab or chemistry lab.
So would Audrey want to wait until her next labs to see if it's still showing low before she takes action, or should she just? Because I'm thinking, like, let's say for example, I did a lab and my triglycerides were like a tiny bit high, and I thought that was like a bad thing, and then my doctor said, no, it wasn't a fasting blood draw, so I expected it to look that way. It doesn't actually mean anything is wrong, and so I was like, okay, I don't have to do anything. So is there, when it comes to being slightly anemic or saying that it was like a little bit low on her lab, could there be some temporary reason why that was the case and maybe nothing's wrong, or should she really just take action anyway?
It could be temporary for whatever reasons, but you should know why. When you look at your labs, when we look at our labs, everyone looks at their labs and they see abnormalities. They should need to know why. Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, let's get back to Lady G's follow-up. I wanted to just go in logical order. So her next question is, what are your thoughts on blood transfusion? So Lady G, I'm assuming that means that maybe that's been recommended due to how anemic you are?
Well, when someone is sick, let's take the worst case scenario, right? Someone has cancer, and there are 2 or 3 major options, maybe 4. The medical community in the whole world, that's all they have. 3 or 4 things they can do for us if we get cancer. One is surgery to remove the organ or remove part of the organs. 2 is to do radiation treatments or therapy. The next one, the third, is chemotherapy. And then immunotherapy is the long shot. All of these have massive side effects, life-threatening side effects. Radiation can cause cancer. Chemotherapy can cause cancer, or they can cause the cancer to spread if the body doesn't react well to the treatment. So if our government, the FDA, has made the decision and given the approval to use these to treat a condition, it means they have nothing else. And I can tell you, when I was working on Wall Street and I used to support, can't say the name, a pharmaceutical company, I met with some of the chemists, the people who make drugs, in protecting, the company when they make new drugs. And they would tell me, because they have all this data, doctors don't live longer than anybody else. The chemists who make the drugs, they don't live longer than ordinary people, regular people. So the government only has what it has. So if they recommend transfusion, it's because they have nothing else. So yes, the transfusion or infusions, they have high risk of contamination. But what are you going to do? The doctors are saying, this is the best we can do for you.
Mm-hmm.
So
and someone may have to do it, especially because with NuSpecies, it could take some time to build things back up.
Right. And you may choose medicine or not NuSpecies, or you may choose NuSpecies and not medicine. But you need a very skilled, qualified, smart medical practitioner to have that conversation with, to be able to get the best support you need. And most of you who come to me, 90 plus % of all of you who come to me over the last 20 years, you get very inferior medical support. Yes, you get medication, but what's the point of medication if you're not getting medical support? You're not getting medical services. Medication is just one piece of medicine, a tiny piece of medicine. The most important part of medicine is arriving at the proper diagnosis. And most of you who come to me get very poor diagnosis.
Or
So,
none at all. Just, oh, these are your symptoms. Here's your
right.
treatment.
Or
for
none at all.
symptoms. Right.
Like with you, Lady G, your doctors are not able to tell you the cause of your anemia. And they may not know. And I'm not blaming them. I am just saying that I lost family members like my parents who were dedicated to the medical treatments they got, and it didn't help them much or help them at all. And that's why, I am sitting here talking to you, is because I have become aware that medicine is necessary, but medicine also has inadequacies, lots of incompletions that you have to fill in the gaps on your own, on our own.
Here with us.
Here we are to help you, give you that information, give you this knowledge. So what I've just said to you all, including Lady G, everything I say to you, you should go back to your doctor and talk with your doctor and say, ask and say. You should. You must, to make sure your doctor is going to give you the best possible support. So we're giving you knowledge and information to go back to your doctor and sit with them and tell them that we say it, because we're not anti-doctor or anti-medicine. So we're giving you good information, we think, to help you manage your medical practitioners, your doctors, and all your other healthcare providers. That's the information you're getting from us, and that's why you need to get all your family members, including children, to listen in.
Okay. Lady G says, thanks for the insight. I did purchase the anemia package this week, but I will send in my blood work as well. So great. Thank you. All right. Next question is from Terrence. Terrence is asking, I lost the chat. Hold on. Where's Terrence? Oh, okay. I put it over here. What formula should I take for sciatica pain?
So sciatica, and there's a whole host of other issues that come with sciatica. So it could be herniated disc, it could be slip disc, it could be arthritis, and of course, sciatica. All these, what they mean is that the nerves are damaged. The nerves are damaged, and what I have recommended to everyone, and those who have done it have gotten better. They've gotten great results. So if you have any of these pain that's moving throughout your body, reverberating down to your legs or your shoulders or your head, causing headaches, causing migraine, causing neck pain, shoulder pain, fingers, these pain, they reverberate all over. So that's what these nerve issues relating to from the neck down to the buttocks of the vertebrae. That's what all these slip disc, herniated disc, sciatica, etc., etc. So this is what you all need to do to fix it. One, you need to get a really good massage therapist. And guess what? A really good one could be right there at home. Your children, your grandchildren, your wives, your husband. You don't need to do massage professionally to get it fixed, but do it very gently, whoever you're going to do it. And you do it 3-4 times a week, maybe 5 times a week, from your neck all the way down to your buttocks. And you don't press hard. You just rub it because the muscles are tight. So you need blood circulation to go to the muscle. That's all you do in the massage. So even a child could do it for you. And while you're doing that 3-4 times a week, you can get the NuSpecies bone package or joint package or the arthritis package. It has the inflammation helping formulas in it. It has the rebuilding formulas in it. It has the cleansing formulas in it to help to clean the blood, to make sure the blood can flow to those areas where you have the conditions that are damaging your nerves. If you do that, you will get better, not may. But you need to do the work of having, whether you get a professional massage therapist or you get a family member. What I would tell my clients is, pay one of your children. Give them $10, for a 20, 30-minute session, or $20, whatever. Pay them. If you go to a massage therapist, they're going to charge you $100, $200 anyway. And you're not going to get any better, tell you the truth, when it comes to issues like that. So pay one of your child, or pay your husband, pay your wife. Bribe them. You may get more than that. Shut up.
Oh gosh. All right. So then Trevor asks, explain probiotics.
All right, you take that one.
Sure. We're not probiotic experts, but I can just say that we humans have a symbiotic relationship, which means like a mutually beneficial relationship with bacteria. So often when humans are talking about bacteria, we're usually thinking about antibacterials and fighting bacteria and bacteria that makes us sick. But there are, I don't know, trillions of bacteria that actually keep us healthy. Mm-hmm. They live within our body. I think we probably are made up of bacteria.
Oh, we are. Our genes and DNA are made from viruses and bacteria.
Yeah. And so not all bacteria is bad. There is tons and tons of trillions of good bacteria that we actually need in our body. And a lot of that bacteria lives in our gut, in our intestines, and is there protecting us, is part of our immune system, and so much more. Helps us digest vitamins and all kinds of things. Okay. But we live a modern lifestyle where we eat lots of processed food. We have intense amounts of stress. We're not sleeping enough. We don't drink enough water. We don't eat enough fiber. You name it, we are doing it. And it kills that friendly bacteria that we desperately need in our bodies. And so then humans were like, okay, well, instead of going to the root cause of the problem and just fixing our diet so that we promote lots of healthy bacteria in our intestines, we're like, well, we'll just consume the bacteria and replace it. So every single day, we're probably killing off billions of bacteria in our gut with what we're eating and drinking or how we're living our life. And so then what we can do is take a probiotic, which is bacteria, to replenish that in our bodies. But that is a remedy. It can be absolutely necessary for some people, depending on the kinds of health issues that they have. But I don't think it should be a long-term solution. Again, we should be looking at what is really the root cause of why my gut health is not good and fix it. And for most of us, it's our diet and our lifestyle just being very stressful. For NuSpecies, we don't really get into there's so many different kinds of probiotics, and many of them have a very specific use. But we just provide acidophilus, so Lactobacillus acidophilus. It's one of the most the highest volume of bacteria in our gut is usually acidophilus. So it has a really, really broad spectrum of use and benefit for the body. So we feel if there is one probiotic that we would provide that would give people the largest benefit would be the Lactobacillus acidophilus. And so that is what NuSpecies sells. And then, if someone needs something more specific, they should be talking with, I don't know, a doctor or someone who is recommending something more specific. But I think honestly, you could go down that very complex road of probiotic expertise, or you could really just change your diet and live a healthier lifestyle and not only fix your gut, but improve your life in so many other ways. And NuSpecies prefers to be on that end of the spectrum.
Okay.
All right. Mm-hmm. Terrence says, thank you. You're welcome, Terrence. I think I accidentally deleted your chat. I'm sorry. It's why I was scrolling to find your question. Luckily, I had pasted it over in my notes. All right. Headley asks, blessings, Aston. A week ago, you suggested that I can take up to a tablespoon of the detox to get a good movement. It worked for me. I'm adding 3 scoops morning and evening. Thanks a bunch. And I'm assuming, Headley, you mean the 3 scoops of like the half teaspoon. So that's not even a full tablespoon. So if that's working for you, then that's great. Or he's scooping out an entire tablespoon and doing 3 of those, which is a lot.
Some people need that.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you for letting us know. That's awesome.
Yeah. Everybody's body is different. I'm going to keep saying that. Everybody's body is different. So some people will take the scoop, which is half a teaspoon, and it's too much. They have to take a quarter or even half of the scoop we give them. So everybody's different.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So we've made it to 10:34, and our live questions wonderfully have used up all of our time. We do have 3 additional pre-submitted questions, but I haven't heard from Margaret, Everton, or Owen in the chat. So Margaret, Everton, or Owen, if you are on today, let us know. Otherwise, we will save your questions for next week. Unless the first one might be pretty simple, we might be able to get to it. Owen asks, what can I use to improve my strength after surgery? Is that a quick one, or does that need more
It
time?
is.
Okay.
Owen, if you're there, you should do the detox and just do the vitamins. So we have the B vitamins with vitamin C. We have the mineral complex, and we have the vitamin D. So that's the very basic you can do to support your body overall.
What about bee pollen?
Bee pollen, yes. Bee pollen is where you could add that in. And those will give you a really good, powerful support. And the bee pollen is a really good one you can add in as well because for energy. Because usually when someone goes through surgery, they do medication, and the medication may linger into their bodies over time and cause weaknesses. That's why a lot of people get weaknesses after surgery because the medication they use, was pretty strong. So, do those and stay in them until your body is recovered.
Can somebody get amino acids? Because I was thinking bee pollen has a lot of amino acids for building protein, but like our mineral complex, which is all whole foods, that probably has a lot of amino acids too.
I think all of our formulas have amino acids. They all have tons of amino acids.
Right. So then you save some money by just sticking with the multivitamins and multiminerals. So
Right.
the B complex, the mineral complex, and the vitamin D.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, awesome. If we don't know what kind of surgery Owen had. I mean, if he happened to have like a surgery on his digestive system, maybe not the detox then, right?
Well, that's why I stick with those basics because everybody needs those on a daily basis to support their bodies, whether surgeries or no surgeries.
Okay.
So that's why I didn't go to the heavier formulas because I don't know what the surgery was, but everybody still need those at minimum to support their bodies.
Okay. And then CW is saying, what was the package for anemia? I think, Mary, do we have that a package like that on the site? Yeah, Mary's going to post that now. Try to click the link before. When we end the show, we usually keep the music playing for a bit to give you time to scroll through the chat and click any links that you wanted to, because once you click a link, it's going to open the browser in your phone. But there's the link for the anemia support package. And then Oliver said, bless greetings. What was the question? Was the question about leaky gut answered? Hi, Oliver. I don't remember a question about leaky gut.
That's the probiotics?
Maybe, Trevor, maybe you thought that's what we were talking about. Someone had just asked to define probiotics, but they weren't asking about leaky gut. But if that's your concern and you want to ask about that, you can. CW says, thanks. You're welcome. Right. And then Mary just put in the chat for those of you who questioning about anemia, because as Aston had mentioned, there's various root causes and there's various extremes of it that can lead to certain kinds of medical interventions. You really should also have a consultation scheduled with Aston. So definitely get the package and get started. You should never wait to get started with NuSpecies, but then also book the consultation when you send your labs in.
Right. And I would strongly recommend, I didn't say it before, that if the doctor is considering infusion or transfusion, it means that the condition is chronic. So you definitely should get in the anemia system we have and start just rebuilding the body, even though we don't know what's wrong. Just start rebuilding to keep your body strong, keep your genes strong until we find out, the cause of the issue.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us today. I do want to remind all of you to please give us permission to reach out to you so we can put the form in the chat. I think my mic is not loud enough. We can put the form in the chat for you to fill out. This gives us permission to call you, text you, email you. We do not do all of those things all the time, but we want to be able to reach you and want to do it legally and with your permission. So if you can fill out that form, that'd be great. You can also forward that form along to anyone else who may want to join our lists. And then please download our app. We send out notifications from the app. So if you're someone who goes to our stores and would prefer to know if we closed early because of an employee emergency or about the scheduling and closures, any updates about pretty much everything at NuSpecies is going to be on our email list and on our app. So we would love for you to do both of those. So click that link before we end the show today and fill out that form so we can be in touch with you. And Mary saying Headley asked another question. So hold on a second there. Okay. Headley says, I'm taking NuSpecies products over 6 years. Now I only take the B and C, which is the B vitamins complex with vitamin C and the mineral complex. At this time, should I take the L-Nu9? Headley, I think last week you were telling us that you were like in 100% health.
You sure it's the same Headley?
Because he puts Headley from Florida.
Okay.
So unless there's two Headley from Floridas.
So Headley, you can take any NuSpecies you want to take. People like you, Headley, who take NuSpecies, that I know of, people like you who are healthy, who take NuSpecies, you just want to live forever. So just take whether caveman, legend, by the system, God formula, just take them.
Yeah, I mean, you could
They're going to help you. They're going to make you stronger.
Yeah.
So take whatever you want to take, Headley.
Yeah, you really can't do too much. It always comes down to budget. So if it's in your budget to do any of the L-Nu formulas, even if it's L-Nu1, L-Nu1 is Aston's flagship invention, and that formula is what put NuSpecies on the map. We helped most people with L-Nu1 for a long time before we came out with L-Nu9. So if you're in great health, I think if you add in L-Nu1, you may not need to take the B complex anymore because we added in the B complex to L-Nu1. So then you could stop taking the B complex, take L-Nu1 and the mineral complex. I mean, that is excellent on a daily basis. But if it's in the budget and you want to take L-Nu9, it really can't hurt because like we've said a lot of times on this show, the amount of environmental toxins that we are exposed to every day, no matter what we do for ourselves, we're going to be exposed to those things in the air and the water and in our homes and the furniture we buy, the clothing we wear. I mean, the toxins are everywhere. So you really can't do too much when it comes to taking NuSpecies products.
And the stronger our bodies are, is the longer we are more likely to live. The stronger our bodies are, it's an easy formula of biochemistry. The stronger our bodies are, the more likely we'll live longer.
And better.
And better.
It's why we say live better and longer, because you don't want to live long and sick. You want to live long and well, right? And you want everyone around you to be well, because what's the point of living long and great when everyone else has died, you know? That's why I have to keep saying, tell your friends and family, tell your children. Headley confirms, same Headley, wonderful. It's so nice to have you. He said, great, I will. I was taking the highest grades. Yes, and that's great. Headley said, check his purchases. You'll see he takes the most powerful.
Oh, boy. All right, sir. All right. All right. I know who Headley is.
Yes. We love all of you. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure. Have a great weekend.